Messages from Achia, High Priestess of the Aztecs and Wakan Takan, Great Spirit of the Native Americans. The restoration of Gaia. Good morning. I am Achia, High Priestess of the Aztec Indians, and today I come to you to ask you to check that you're on the right path, or to follow the Aztec traditions. We ask you to return to caring for our Mother Earth. We ask you to return to caring for one another, to understand that we are all one, to understand that what happens to you ripples out to the entire community. It is a value for the whole community, whether you are what the outside world now considers the lower part of the community, or whether you are the high archangel. In our world, there was no separation. Everyone had a task, everyone fulfilled a duty. Everyone loved, danced, and took care of those around them, carrying out their role as equals, as part of a whole that could fall apart, and indeed did fall apart, when people began to abandon those roles. The earth is returning to that kind of life. It will not be easy. For some, it will be horrible. But every one of you is here to play a role, and these roles are changing. We ask you to open your eyes, open your ears, and do what you feel called to do. It is what your heart tells you to do, not what society imposes on you. It will be the most magnificent movement of all time in Earth's history. To bring Mother Earth back to what she is and what she is meant to be. To bring humanity back to the unity of the whole. Aligned with the Earth, part of it, and yet separate from it. We look forward to the day when all of you will recognize and join what the ancient spirit of the Aztecs represented. And you are on the right track. We also warn you that on this journey back to unity, there will be souls who resist. There will be souls who have chosen to remain individualistic, to stay on the path they are following rather than adapting, integrating, and joining the whole. I tell you that this is their choice. You must allow it to happen, even knowing that it may be painful for them, even knowing that it will be sad for you to see them, even knowing that at some point they will choose to leave. But it is their path, their choice. And just as you chose this path to help humanity, just as you chose this path to help the earth regain its ancient splendor and beauty, those people will choose to resist, and perhaps to leave. And know that if they make that choice, they will have another chance to return and join us. For some, it means they will need to heal on the other side. It does not mean they have forgotten their humanity or their role. It means they made choices and chose to follow a different path. Do not feel guilty. Do not feel pain. Just know that you did everything you could, that you helped as much as they allowed, and that at some point, their joy for what is happening in the world, and for what will happen will be as great as yours. Their joy will come when they recognize that joining the unity is not a negative thing, but is the highest, most beautiful, and most joyful thing we can achieve. We follow you and join you. Generations of us, generations of others, multitudes from the stars are here to help you. And with that, we ask only that you listen to the messages we bring you, follow your heart, and let what is happening happen. Know that we are here. Know that you can count on us at any time. And know that it has been a great pleasure for me to speak with you today, because we consider you both pillars among those committed to building a strong and united humanity. May my blessing be with you. Channel, Laura Smith Biswas. I present myself to you as Wakan Tonka, Supreme Chief, Restorer, Protector of Mother Earth. From this continent, we invite all beings to join, to stand as a united front, to protect Mother Earth, to be her eyes, her ears, and her voice, for what is needed for her rebirth and renewal, so that, in partnership, we may realize the glorious state she was destined to be in, the state in which we were destined to share with her beautiful meadows, pastures, mountains, and waters in harmony, in balance, collectively, cohesively, and lovingly, as a people in which no one is superior to another, where the creatures and animals on her land, those who walk on their own paws, who fly in the sky, who swim in the oceans and rivers, are considered equal partners on this planet. For those who care for others are of equal importance to those who lead, to those who cultivate the land, to those who sink their fingers into her soft earth with love and not just for profit. We are united with you to define our intention and anchor it in this moment, in this timeline, so that we work together with you, with Lightworkers all united by the desire to bring her back to her true natural state of beauty, purity, and respectful harmony, so that we may honor her seasons, her cycles, the rhythm of her natural state and harmony, and allow her to guide us and teach us about our lives that mimic and mirror what she experiences. And we stand on this precipice, firm and strong, to say, we will not step back anymore. She must be protected and cared for. We are united worldwide with all who know this truth, that it is time to stop the madness, that the purposes of profit will no longer prevail over the health and well-being of all peoples, all living beings, all nations, and above all our Mother Earth, on whom we depend for every breath. It is the most significant change you have ever seen, and there are countless beings of light ready to assist you in every way. Do not feel alone in this. It is the divine path of the current timeline unfolding for the highest good of all. There is no doubt, the time's come. There is no longer any way to sink into darkness. We are emerging, we are returning, and although the path may not be easy, it is clear that we must rebuild, restore, and bring honor back to life. In our relationships with one another, with the plants and animals of this kingdom, and with the earth itself, ask yourselves, what is my role? This is the most important question you can ask yourselves during this shift. Everyone is needed. You are all on the front lines, hand in hand with other people who need your help. Be ready to assist and to return whenever you need support, recalibration, energetic alignment, or an infusion of love to maintain your strength, focus, and integrity in the situation. We are always with you. I am Wakan. The return to sovereign truth, the ascending starseed awakening *, the soul does not love. It is love itself. It does not exist. It is existence itself. It does not know. It is knowledge itself. When you travel at the speed of consciousness, only the eternal now exists. When you free yourself from the energetic imprint of the old reality, the space it occupied cannot remain empty. Every void is naturally filled by a new frequency. When you consciously release fear, limitation, and separation, you create space for higher vibrational energies to anchor within you. It is from this elevated state of consciousness that your true power to create and manifest consciously in harmony with the new earth begins. Many starseeds have found it difficult to express their truth in this world because they carry deep energetic vestiges of persecution, rejection, and collective injustice. Within their memory cells remain echoes of past lives spent being silenced, judged, or punished for living authentically, as well as the collective imprint associated with false judgment and the suffering of Christ consciousness. These ancient wounds are now surfacing to be recognized, healed, and finally released. The message for all starseeds during this global ascension is, you will not be punished for expressing your sovereign truth. You are free to speak from your heart and soul. The energetic structures that once controlled through fear and repression are rapidly dissolving. Those who walk the path of ascension in truth are no longer governed by the dense collective frequencies that once sought to manipulate and weaken human consciousness. Discernment remains essential, but your most valuable guidance is your strengthening intuition and your deepening connection to your higher self. Maintaining a conscious connection to the light of Source is becoming essential as humanity continues its transition to higher states of consciousness. This divine connection strengthens your ability to create, manifest, and live in harmony with the frequencies of the new earth. Many starseeds are now releasing the ancient pattern of injustice that has distorted their authentic blueprint and suppressed aspects of their true spiritual nature. As these distortions dissolve, dormant soul gifts awaken, higher consciousness expands, and many are coming fully online. The pineal gland, often called the gateway to ascension, continues to activate as consciousness rises. This small pinecone-shaped gland, located deep within the brain, is connected to higher perception and expanded awareness. It has been subject to strong environmental and social influences because of its link to intuition and understanding of higher dimensions. As this center awakens, many experience sharper discernment, greater inner knowing, and an enhanced ability to perceive truth beyond appearances. Instead of passively accepting everything, the awakened mind begins to naturally recognize subtle inconsistencies, hidden motivations, and deeper layers of reality. Truth, above all else, is that you do not need to be understood. You only need to be authentic. You no longer carry the energetic weight of the old world and old energy. Your true self walks in peace, integrity, and truth. As consciousness continues to rise, you are reclaiming your divine birthright, your sovereign freedom, and the limitless expression of your authentic soul. In service to ascension, with love and dedication. Asterisk compiled by the AscensionLightworkers. Asterisk. Sananda. All the words in the world with all the words at my disposal, existing in the world, in all languages combined, what would I truly say? What would be important? I would only want to speak from the heart and say, I love you so much, and I can never say it enough. I know you, I see you, but above all, I feel you. I feel you behind all the smiles and also behind all the tears, and I see you behind all the feelings, and I see a miracle. But you will not find it, not at all. You feel all your fears, your worries, and you find yourself overwhelmed by the negativity of worldly life. Beyond all the words of the entire world lie all the feelings. Everything begins with a feeling, and what I feel in my heart is the clearest understanding of my reality and my truth. What you feel in your heart is your pure and simple truth. All your thoughts in your head are ripples on the surface of the water, emanating from your heart, whose source is your dear heart. It is easy to get swept away by ideas and plans that do not reflect your essence of light and love. And how can you stay connected to your inner core of light and love? Always try to carve out a moment of silence every day. It doesn't take long, I promise you. The only thing that matters is you and your inner core of love and light, and that you can feel it. Even you, every day, must find your balance again. Eat vegetables. It helps you stay grounded. Take a walk in nature. It helps you find your balance. Love every breath you take. It grounds you and reconnects you with your universal roots. Being grounded means establishing a true connection with the above. And so much love is coming to you, because you have forgotten who you are. You have been swept away by yourself, sunk into oblivion, into the tumult of the stage of your earthly life. What makes you lose your balance? New technologies, wireless technology, make you fly, but not in a positive sense. Fast food. Processed food. The more processed a food is, the fewer nutrients it still contains. Eating meat. Eating a living being with two eyes means eating another soul. It is not good for you. In reality, you are stealing the life force of another being, and this will destabilize your connection with your soul. So many animals are tortured and slaughtered in the cruelest ways and then, shortly after, served on your plate. Please, be careful. Be careful what you put in your mouth. Your mouth is a portal. In fact, your mouth is a very important portal that connects you to the universe. And how? When you sing. Yes, when you sing, you reconnect with the entire universe, and it hears you perfectly. But when you contaminate your mouth by eating another's soul, when you eat meat, it will block you more than you can imagine. Yes, I am vegan. And I know many of you try a vegan diet but feel you're not getting all the necessary nutrients. Go directly to the source and eat vegetables from your local village/area. Learn to recognize what you can forage and eat in nature. And never eat anything you are not absolutely certain about. With all the love in my heart, I tell you, I love you and I know you. And I knew you before you were born on earth, and I am Sananda. You walk beside me. I am not walking ahead of you. No, we walk hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, and heart to heart. We are united. Try it. Eat healthily for your soul and heart. Treat yourself with love and pamper others too. Thank the food and drink from your heart at every moment, every day, and your dear Mother Earth will thank you with a heartfelt thank you, which will arrive directly in your heart, and you will feel connected to her. Mother Earth is a living, pulsating soul who walks beside us as we walk the path of peace and love on earth, always heart to heart and hand in hand. I love you, Sananda. I practice meditation kind of haphazardly, but I still see the benefits long-term meditation can create subtle but lasting changes. Discover how decades of one woman's practice have helped her become less reactive, communicate more wisely, and experience her emotions more lightly. Every weekday at 6:20 a.m., I move my laptop to the kitchen, where I join an online meditation group called Morning Contemplation. There are about 65 of us from United States, Canada, and England. I connect via Zoom from Eureka, California. Our time together is roughly divided into 3 parts. 1/3 silent meditation, 1/3 sharing a brief excerpt or quote provided by the morning's facilitator, and 1/3 supporting one another, both among participants and with people outside the Zoom room, including family, friends, and even strangers. I am a somewhat casual, half-hearted meditator. There are periods when I meditate every day, and others when I skip it for months. Nonetheless, meditation has been part of my life for over 30 years. In the early 1990s, my husband joined a Zen group, and a few months later, he asked if I wanted to meditate with him at home 3 times a week. Early in the morning, we would sit on large black sofa cushions in our living room for 20 minutes, then walk very slowly along the brick path around our garden. We no longer live in that house, but I still remember the joy I felt walking past the rosy nandina bushes along the path. Since then, I have lost my father and a sister, moved twice, and bought a house in Mexico. Amidst all these life events, the one constant has been my meditation practice. I often find myself sitting quietly on a cushion or chair, doing whatever my mind does, experiencing different forms, from Zen and Vipassana, a westernized form of Buddhist meditation, to centering prayer, a Christian-inspired meditation. While each style is slightly different, they all share the common goal of helping you not live your life as if sleepwalking. Don't expect dramatic results, but I don't ask much of meditation. I don't expect spiritual epiphanies, enlightenment, a stress-free life, or for meditation to improve the quality of any given day. These rewards sometimes come, but I haven't found that expecting them is helpful. And yet, one morning, while quietly gazing at my fellow meditators' faces on my computer screen, I realized that years of meditation have changed me in several ways. One way I've changed is that I am less impulsive. A frequent thought that comes to me while meditating is, I must. There I am, sitting quietly, when suddenly a sense of urgency hits me. Asterisk, oh no. I think I left the coffee maker on, and I'm worried it will overheat. Asterisk, or I forgot to buy detergent. Now I sit with that familiar, annoying, sudden anxiety, and do nothing to make it go away. After a few minutes, my mind wanders elsewhere. The shadows on the wall across from me shift shape, and the bell rings, signaling the end of meditation and a return to the group. Time has passed. I may still feel the importance of taking a certain action, or not, but I wouldn't have felt the need to act immediately. What seemed so urgent in the end was not. Chronic urgency is not a healthy state. During meditation, I observe the intensity that arises in me and practice not acting on impulse. This discipline serves me well in everyday life as well. Another way I've changed is in my communication style. I used to be firmly convinced that being direct and blunt was the right way to behave, superior to all others, and that I embodied this quality. I believed I was a better person because I had the courage to tell people things I thought they needed to hear. I cringe at the thought of the things I said in the name of honesty. I still value directness. And I still express my opinion, except when I don't. Sometimes I stay silent. Other times I listen and try to get the other person to talk. Other times still I reflect more before offering an opinion. Thanks to the awareness I've gained through meditation, I now have more options for dealing with my mental patterns. Incremental evolution, a third way I've changed, is in how I react to my emotions. I grew up in the era of encounter groups and Gestalt therapy. Emotions were my religion, and like any devout follower, I worshipped the God I had created. Asterisk, I've been hurt. I've been mistreated. You need to know. Asterisk, I respect my feelings. Like small children, they deserve attention and respect. If I ignore them, they might intensify in ways that aren't helpful. They are important, but not that important. They are just feelings. That's all. When I meditate, a feeling often arises in the theater of my mind. For me, it is usually jealousy. There's nothing I can do to make it disappear. So I sit there and feel jealousy coursing through my veins in all its overwhelming intensity, in all its nuances. I study it. I examine it closely. What is this thing that makes my heart beat faster? As I investigate the jealousy, or whatever occupies my mind, an alchemy occurs. It transforms, changes shape. A few minutes later I wonder, where did it go? It's not that the feeling has completely vanished without a trace, but it has a different quality. Emotions transform. They come, they go. I notice them, but I don't take them so seriously anymore, and for that I thank meditation. In my experience, meditation is a gradual process, slowly eroding my most rigid defenses and transforming me, sometimes against my will. 30 years ago, when I was 44, I never would have imagined these changes would happen. I probably wouldn't have even wanted them, so attached was I to the person I was then. Now, seeing how I've evolved, I am grateful. And I see no reason to stop meditating. I can't imagine what changes the future holds for me, but I'm curious to find out. The Federation of Light. Out of this world, good morning. Would you like to comment on the sculpture New World I saw? So graced? Maybe I should marry it. Apparently, people legally marry bridges and chandeliers. Why not a sculpture? I love it so much. Welcome, Blossom, and welcome to every soul who passes by here to feel and experience the love that comes through you, Blossom, from us directly to your hearts. Of course, we would like to comment. Is it not true that the energy emanating from her is out of this world? We will not reveal everything that she has to offer over time, but we would like her to be a reminder to all that connections with one another, whether in human form or of marble, crystal, rock, stone, in reality, as with your experiments, Blossom, anything, are a vital part of living. Your life. We understand, Blossom, that initially these experiments made you feel a bit weird, we believe you would say, and yet, you are adapting to such possibilities, and every experiment has been and will be expressed aloud, listening to thoughts previously unexplored. I dreamed of unwrapping a gift, and inside was a beautiful, shiny fork. At the time, it seemed a bit too ridiculous to be inspired by a fork, and yet many wrote to me saying they would have liked to do it. Here's the point, Blossom. Everything has something to say. Only not everything has a voice, and that's where you come in. Not only you, but every one of you can hear the thoughts of anything. Speak with anything, because everything is alive. Everything is energy. We encourage you to become aware of this, to connect with anything. Touch with your hands what is tangible, and perceive what it has to say. If it is not tangible with your hands, touch it with the energy of your heart. Perhaps you could start experimenting bearing this in mind. Even your car's gear shift, a coin, anything. Start appreciating it simply for what it is. Not only will you find it amusing, but you will also find it very surprising. You might feel like you are making up its answer with your mind. Try not to interfere with that negativity. Simply let it flow. You will be surprised at the relationships that can arise from the most unexpected and improbable presence of things that were previously just things to you. It is normal to interact and speak with animals, trees, etc., beings that are obviously alive. And yet, now moving to a different dimension of understanding the energy emanating from things that have been ignored and taken for granted can enliven not only your home, but also your life. I understand that perfectly, and it's not something I would ever have thought of. You will be amazed by the expressive potential of a chair or a table. We repeat, do not think you are a little crazy. Take advantage of this characteristic. Of course, your introductory conversation must be aimed at connecting with them through love, because everything understands this language. I think many of us will have a good laugh, with all due respect. And it's probably not something you would share with many people. I mean, I'm looking at my cushion right now. It seems quiet. Give time and love to everything. Because most objects have switched off and accepted just being. You know, it's fascinating. It makes sense to me. And yet I had never thought of taking it to this new level. It's funny though how now I can say, okay, I'll try it. Whereas only a few years ago I probably would have put our relationship on hold for a while, because we were heading down the wrong path. And yet, we promise you, to those who choose to take this suggestion seriously, that a completely new world will open up. Pay attention to the differences you will notice within yourself once you have participated in this fun. Some of you will find that you need to move objects around your home because a cushion might not like where it has been placed. Your home can take on a completely new meaning when you listen to its permanent inhabitants and their desire to give their best in service. I feel like giving everything a good clean. It is wise to do so regularly. Indeed, when you do, you can perceive the change in energy which, naturally, in turn, is beneficial. It is also good to allow external elements and the breeze to circulate through open windows. You are all aware of these things, and have been for a long time. However, since your vibrational frequency has risen enormously recently, many of you will find that this experiment will take on a completely new level. Because it will be at a completely new level. Well, I will definitely try it. Thank you. By the way, mood swings and irregular sleep patterns are still frequent. When can we expect them to stop? We would say they will change. They will transform into something else, which you might find annoying. Something to look forward to, then. What you must understand, Blossom, is that these changes must happen in harmony with the changes around you. In everything. It is not possible to reach higher levels of frequency and vibration without making physical and emotional adjustments. You have to go through this path to feel comfortable when moving to the next stage, so to speak. There will be ongoing changes and adjustments to everything you are letting go of, and everything you are becoming. With respect, consider what you know yourself to be now, how you behave, how you think, how you are in everything. Then reflect on how you should be when the darkness has dissolved and your true self blooms at every moment. Think about how much of your old self you need to give up. How much of you must be left behind because it has no place in your new home. Such a passage to a higher dimension of yourself, to the place you have chosen to inhabit, cannot happen overnight. You must let go of much of yourself. Indoctrination and programming have become so deeply rooted in the individual that you end up believing you are who you truly are, when in reality you are not. You are not who you think you are. Could you elaborate on that a bit? I know about the ego and things like that, and yet it's hard to separate from your thoughts and their origin. Blossom. Ultimately, you are light. You consider yourself light in a human body. You are working well with this idea. And yet, you will say we are so much more. We know, you have told us that often. However, we are not yet able to be what we are, nor even to know how to be so much more. And that is part of the changes taking place. This process of transformation allows your true light to shine. The more this process continues, the more you will be able to feel this light within you and simply be it. As this process takes place, much of you is changing, and thoughts you know do not belong to you will no longer try to drag you down a slippery slope. Thoughts that are not useful to you will dissolve because they know they are losing the battle. They cannot compete with this true, higher, brighter, and more splendid self. There is so much to look forward to. So many unexpected things await you. Fortunately, many of you have now moved away from the lies and propaganda that were fed to you, because your vibration recognized they were no longer useful. That alone has made a huge difference on a planetary level. Let those who are involved and need to be involved do their part, allowing you to do yours, which you now know is to be in service to love. You feel the difference, don't you, Blossom? To be honest, I would very much like to say yes, but it depends on the day and what it brings. We understand that life on Earth, as has been shown to us, can put a strain on one's joy of living, depending on the difficulties one faces. And yet, overall, would you say you perceive a difference in yourself? When the day goes well, oh, really? You feel it directly in the heart, and that knowing you speak of so often, it is a knowing. This will become much more a part of what you have chosen to be. Let the world do what it must do, and allow yourself to do what you must do, each of you. Serves light. Be light. Know light. Because you are. Tickety-boo chaps. Thank you. With gratitude. In loving service. I am. The 12D creators. Start with this and follow the momentum to get more. We are here for you. We are the creators. We are a collective of non-physical 12th dimensional beings, and we're here to help you. We love you all, each and every one, and we will never stop loving you. And we do this not only because it is truly what we are, but also because it is one of the many ways in which we are useful to you. If you see yourselves for who you truly are, as beings of unconditional love, and recognize that everyone else is part of the same collective you are part of, then you must know that the best thing you can do to be who you truly are and help the collective you belong to is to love. We know it's not always easy to be in that state of mind when you have so many things to sort out in your life. We know that people appear in your life who turn out to be anything but lovable, and we know you were aware of what awaited you when you decided to incarnate. You knew you would encounter unlovable people, that you would face many stressors, many things to manage and take care of, and you accepted the challenge. And so, now, we present you again with the challenge you once set for yourselves. It is true that your life really does revolve around love. It is about discovering that you are love, about understanding and recognizing who and what you love. It is about doing what you love and showing love to those who do nothing to deserve it, but who have probably never received unconditional love in their lives. And that is how you help. If you want to know how to help, how to be useful, here is the answer. Right here. You can start by loving yourself, naturally, and you can start by loving whoever is around you and is easiest for you to love, even if it is an animal. Whether it is Mother Earth, Mother Nature, trees, flowers, the ocean, a mountain, anything, you have the ability to love that being and you will gain great benefits from it. And once you have built up positive momentum by loving what is easy for you, you can gradually move on to loving what is more difficult for you. There will be people who test you, pushing you to remember who they truly are, despite them behaving completely differently from that. That is part of the agreement you have with them. There will be circumstances in your life that will force you to look within and find the love that you are, where all your strength resides. You become more powerful by being your complete self, your true and authentic self. And since you are a being of love, that means you must find the love that exists within you and amplify it so that you can live the kind of life you desire, without anyone outside of you having to change, and without any circumstances having to improve. And that is how you access your true power. We know that today on your planet there are people who seek to gain power and feel good about themselves by exercising it over others. And this happens simply because they were never taught how to access their true and authentic inner power. And that is, of course, the power of love. And you all possess it. You all have an infinite supply of it because you were created from and by an infinite supply of unconditional love. We are the creators, and we love you very much.